Dr. Nachi Sinha is here with us today. We've had him on many times before, and you'll be glad to know he's back, talking about Chapter 8 from his book, Empowered and Strong, Navigating Safely Through the Storms of Life. And this chapter is called The Source of the Opinion Matters. Good afternoon, how are you?
Very good, Toby. Thank you so much for having me again, and it's nice to be back. Yeah, so this is an interesting topic, isn't it? The source of opinion matters, and why I find this interesting is because many times things bother us, right? I mean, we get affected by what people say, how people we meet, and so on. They say certain things, but it's important to understand that opinion is fine, but one also has to understand about what the source of the opinion is to figure out whether it's credible or not.
Yeah.
For example, if I was a software chap and I made IT and kind of stuff, and if Bill Gates plods along and goes, "Hey man, that's an amazing piece of software," then you know what? I mean, that sort of opinion is actually quite valuable because it's from that business, right? So you're going to feel good about it. But let's say, for example, I make a very good software, and Bill Gates has said this is really nice, and then I go and tell my friend who has nothing to do with computers, and he looks at me and goes, "That's awful." So now the problem is, am I going to feel bad about what my friend said? Or am I going to ask myself about, okay, it's the same thing, two different people, different opinions. So which should matter to me? What emotion should I carry? And that's where I now ask myself, who was saying it? For example, if somebody who you really care about and love, if they tell you that you're an awful person, then, that matters a lot. And if somebody off the street goes and say, "Hey, get off," I can't be bothered if someone on the street says that, right? So it's from that perspective, and that you can be careful about what you listen to and what you take to heart. Always ask yourself what the source is and where it comes from.
Yeah, and there's a quote, isn't there? I can't remember it word for word, but it's like, those outside of the arena don't know what it's like inside. And I think that happens a lot, maybe in sport particularly. People give maybe footballers a lot of abuse if they don't score a goal. And that's coming from somebody that doesn't know anything about football. It's like, well, what do you know? I bet you couldn't score that goal. So your opinion is actually invalid. Yeah.
But you'd be surprised, Timmy, though. It's also, I mean, it's so common in life as well. For example, a friend making a comment that, that's horrible. And now, and it could be just something you said, or a friend says something like, "You look horrible," or something, or "You're so stupid," or whatever the comment they make. The problem is that if we're not careful, then these opinions that are thrown on us, they kind of stay in our subconscious mind, and these seeds then grow into trees, so to speak. So somebody said something really, nasty and totally of no relevance at all 5 years ago, and now suddenly it's become a big issue for me. It's gone into a tree, which is eating into my confidence because of a comment that my friend made about my unpolished shoes 5 years ago, and said that if you can't have your shoes polished, how are you going to succeed in life?
Yeah.
Now, can you imagine? That's how life is. People make all kinds of comments and opinions. So you've got to be able to see that opinions are there, dime a dozen, but be careful about what you take on.
Yeah. And there's also something, isn't there, where 99 people could say something really nice to you, and then one person says something horrible. You're going to remember what that one person said out of all
That's
of them.
correct. That is correct. That is correct. And so it also depends on how much importance does one give that, right? And where do you, for example, this isn't about somebody always saying nice things to me or just having yes people around you. No. This is about having, for example, the same example regarding, the software chap, right? For example, if my friend tells me it's an amazing software, and Bill Gates go, "No, man, this is awful," right? So I'm going to listen to Bill Gates going, "This is awful, man." Not my friend who's telling me it's amazing, and my friend knows nothing about software. So this isn't about just the yes people. No. This is about credibility of the opinion.
Yeah, and I suppose maybe it's slightly different, but over the last couple of years during COVID, it's been you either listen to the guy that studied virology or your auntie on Facebook.
Yeah, I mean, what a segue into that.
Yeah.
You're right. I mean, that's a very astute observation. So you see how, in real life, how powerful is this, right? And yet, everybody who's getting all strongly emotional and believing things are believing it because they're building their opinion. Yeah. But are they going a step further and asking themselves, what's the source? Yeah. And is the source credible to believe that? I mean, I can talk about cakes, but trust me, I can't bake a cake to save my life. Yeah. So if I gave an opinion to a master, pastry maker about cakes, I mean, I'm sure they'll kick me out, right? But I don't know if the public would see that.
Yeah, absolutely. The source of the opinion matters. And that's the title of the chapter from the book Empowered and Strong, Navigating Safely Through the Storms of Life by Dr. Nachi Sinha, who's the guy you've just heard for the last 5 minutes or so. Many thanks for joining us today, and we'll see you next week.
Okay.